So as far as I understood it, the question is, when someone is browsing a website, can Sales IQ identify if this person is already in the system or not, so it can track the visit and pages and so on? Am I correct, Steve? Okay, very good. And that's a very good question. So let's just open a website just as an example. This Sales IQ is not connected to my website because this Sales IQ is on a test server, right? So let's assume that someone went to my website and he took some kind of an action. Maybe he clicked on the chat and he communicated with my business. Maybe he went to the contact us and he filled the contact request and he came to my CRM. In those cases, there will be a cookie, an identifier that will be installed on the client's computer. And every time that you will go back to the website, you will be able to see the details of the transaction, the details of the visit. You can see it on the bottom, and it looks something like that. So you will see the page that he was visiting, the number of pages that he saw, the time that he spent on this visit, the referrer, if you have any, and also the time. And that's being done automatically as the person visiting your website every time. I think the cookie is for 1 year. There is an expiry for this cookie. I think it's for 1 year. And the way that you can enable all that, it's pretty easy. If you will go to the under marketplace, you click on all, you will see on the right top that you can have here Sales IQ. And one of them will be Zoho Sales IQ for Zoho CRM. So you just click on it and you need to click on activate and then again activate. And when you do that, the integration is done. If you want your website to have the Sales IQ, you will need to click on view code and you need to put this code on your website. If you need someone to do it for you, just know it's few minutes of work. So no one will try to slave you for like $1,000 for integration and all those beautiful words. So it's a very quick job. Just need to put it on the website and that's it. Now, another common question for Sales IQ, if we're on the same topic, is that some people don't want to have the chat option when they have Sales IQ on the website. They want to have all the tracking and they want to know what's happening with the client, but they don't want to have the chat. So just know that you have here in the settings, you have a way to hide and show the chat. If you go to the website, and I have one website created, you can see a different option, and one of them will be the live chat widget. If you will click on disable, now it will not show on the website anymore. So this is how you can just hide and show it. You can see that you also have visitor tracking, which I think you always want to have it. It's very good. You can have one for mobile apps in case that you have. I don't have it in my case. And the live chat for emails, which is also giving a way to click and then it's initiating the chat. It's also, I think it's a cool option. One more thing, maybe. It's common that people, they're saying that the business is working, let's say 9 to 5, but the chat is always showing. So, even, at midnight, people see we're online and, they're trying to connect with the company, but no one is answering because it's midnight. So there is a way to identify the business hours, and you can see it here. Okay, if you go to settings, company, and then you have the business hours, you need to configure when the business is operating, because nothing means all the time. So you will need to have, let's say, they're working from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Okay, and then you click on save. and then that's it. So now this is the hours of the business, and 7 days a week between those times, the business will be deemed as operating. Let's go with one more. Okay, so you have here in the bots, you have a section that you can create your own bots, and those bots are pretty interesting. I cannot say great or bad, but they're interesting and it's going to the right direction. We created a bot that this bot automatically asking you questions. For example, do you need help with support or sales? Support, no problem. Do you have an existing ticket number or you like to create a new one? I like to check my existing number. So you just click, what is your ticket number? You enter the ticket. It's showing you the results of all of the ticket, who is dealing with it, what's the status. So those kind of things can be done using the bots, which are very, very cool. And this is how the bot looks like on the right side. And on the left side, you have the code. All the bots eventually will be expensive projects, and you will need someone to help you with it. Not too many people know how to deal with the bots. If you have some money and you want to try it, then go ahead and do it. I think the bots are very, very cool. Zoe is coming with a few templates for the bots, but the problem with the template is you need to do exactly what they're giving you, and no business can use 100% of the template. And when you try to make changes, it's becoming difficult because you have so many different pages and all of them need to sync in order to operate the bot. So I don't think it's an easy solution to develop on, but I think it's a cool concept that is growing more and more. So lots of cool stuff can be done here. Okay. How well does the Sales IQ chat for emails work? Wade, how are you, my friend? I don't know how it's working with emails. I never did it, but I assume you click on some kind of a link and it's opening the Sales IQ. There is no way to initiate JavaScript on an email. So you cannot really embed the code. So for sure, it's a picture. You click on the picture, it will load the new web page, and the web page will give you the information. That's the only way that it can work. First of all, Steve, did I answer your question? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see if we have more questions.
Can you hear me?
Of course. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Amazing. It's all great.
Hey, I watched a video that you had about how to like create lists and then do your follow-up calls or follow-up processes using that list view to be able to make that work.
The list of you mean like a view?
Well, you just had like your leads in there, and you were just going top to bottom, and the ones that you got contact with, you went into the actual record itself, and the ones that you just got voicemail on, you just said, hey, I'm going to mass update all these things to follow up later on.
Yep.
And so the question is that can you do that same process to move it, like to change a status or any other thing, or is that just something that's, you understand what I'm asking?
Yep, I do understand.
A blueprint or a workflow or somewhere, can I move it automatically by updating all that at the same time?
Yes, let me first update the people here that they don't know what we're talking about, so they will know what we're trying to do here. Let me go to one of those records. Let's see if I have a follow-up. Yes. So as part of the way that I am running my business, I have a follow-up date, and the follow-up date is dictating when is the next time that I need to connect with this specific record. It might be a lead, a contact, a deal, it doesn't matter. And the idea is that if I have, let's say, 7,000 leads, I will concentrate my efforts only on the ones that I need to follow up with, and not all the people in my database, because that's overwhelming and not productive. So the idea is that I wake up in the morning, and let's assume that this view is all the people that I'm supposed to contact today. And let's update all of them. Let's update it for today. And we'll also have here follow-up comments and the follow-up date. And let's remove some junk that I don't need. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So let's say that this is the view, and the view is showing me all the people that I'm supposed to connect with today. And right now it's just showing 4 because, of course, it's a development system. But imagine that you have here about 200 people, and you need to contact each one of them. So the way that I showed it in the video is basically that you can start calling the first person, and let's say he's not answering. And then you're calling the second person and he's not answering. You're calling the third one, he's answering, okay? But the first 2 did not answer. So the way that I'm doing it, I'm selecting the ones that did not answer. I will go to the mass update, and then I will update their follow-up date for tomorrow. And then once I do that, they will be gone from my list. They will not be here anymore. So only those will be here. Now, the person that did answer, I will click on the record, and then I can run some notes. For example, what happened with this specific record, or I can follow up using the follow-up section, or maybe using the blueprint. So basically, I click. It asks me what was the outcome of the connection with the person, and I can set it for, let's say, tomorrow. Okay, so this is really what I showed in this video. And what is the answer, Wade? What is the question? Sorry.
Yeah, well, sorry. Well, I'm trying to make a Zoho phone burner type app. And so what I want to do is, as soon as I get a message, I want to hang up, and then I want to send a request to Sly Broadcast to do a ringless voicemail behind it. So I don't have to sit there and listen to that voicemail all the way through. And so I don't know if I can do that through a trigger with follow-up date, like if the follow-up date changes and do this, because there's going to be too many places that's probably going to be in conflict with. And so I'm just trying to, and I'm just sending it like hey, this is Wade. Sorry, I couldn't get a hold of you today. Like on your Amazing Leads blueprint, that's like an email that's sent out. Instead of doing that email, I want to send out the ringless voicemail. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just generically.
Yes. So I just muted your mic for a second because there is some background noise. So the way that you can run with, let's say I'm doing it with Aircall. So Aircall is a phone company that works with Zoho, and they have a plugin to Chrome. So let's say I have here 100 records on the page with phone numbers. I can click on the application and I can say load it and start calling one by one. So the application is doing it for me. Now, in your case, instead of calling each one, you're trying to drop voicemails, right? Let me just give you again the access for the mic. So you're trying to drop voicemails for each one of them?
Yeah, but I'm sitting here looking at it and thinking about it right now, and I wonder if I just need to go into the record itself, and then when I move from attempt 1 to attempt 2, that can be the trigger to send it and I just have to go. I won't be able to do the list thing like you're doing, but I can still get the follow-up date in there to make sure that that's going the direction I want to go. But I can do follow-up date based on the attempt number too in Amazing Leads, right? So if I want to make my fourth phone call on the fourth day instead of on the second day, I can set all that up and then have it do the ringless voicemail immediately as an instant access and then a schedule. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. The ringless voicemail, like a Sly Broadcast, it's just an API. So we can send it for a bunch. Let's say you have here like 50 records. We can drop the voicemail for each one of them, or we can do it only when you're clicking on missed one, missed two, which are part of the blueprint. So if I click now on attempt 2, now it will give me the next follow-up that I'm supposed to do. And now it will also in the background will send to Sly Broadcast the person's phone number, and it will drop the voicemail.
Okay, so am I on?
Yeah, yes.
So theoretically, I can do because I don't want to set up a bunch of calls and a bunch of tasks in there that just is gonna get gummy on that back end. What I want to do is so let's say that I have all of those. I do what we were talking about at the very beginning. I just do the list. If I get a hold of somebody, a live person, then I go into the deal and check whatever it is. But I can also just, if I get a voicemail or a no answer, I can leave that big list up, right? And then do a mass update at one time. And then it can send out a generic. Oh, don't shake your head like that. Say yes.
Yes. I will tell you why you can't. When we're going to the blueprint, because you have a blueprint, right?
Yes.
So the blueprint in this case is working based on the lead status. And whenever you have a blueprint that works on a field, in this case, it's the lead status, there is no way to change the status manually. So if I want to click here and change the status, you see there is a lock. And this lock cannot be broken. So if I want to change the status, the only way is to click on those buttons, and then it's changing the status. But if I want to go and, let's say, click here, go to mass update, change the status to something else, okay, it shows successfully, but it will not do it. So it will stay exactly on missed one, the same way it was before.
All right. So to back that up just a hair. So if I'm going to do a mass update on things, I can't say move everything up from attempt 1 to attempt 2, or if it's attempt 2 to attempt 3 or whatever it is, I can't do that. I've got to go in and go make that happen automatically, right? So
that's right.
Do that. I got to go there and do the follow up. Okay. So if that's the way it is, that's fine. I was just seeing if I could.
What you can do when we build the blueprint for you, there was one function that was not available back then, but now it's available. So let's say instead of having those 4 different steps, you could have only one step that will call it just attempts, and it will be loop from itself to itself, something like that.
Right.
And then you're always cycling in the attempts until, let's say, it's reaching number 7 or 4. And then we say, stop. Do not show this button anymore when it's attempt number 5 or 4. It doesn't matter. So this option can allow you that you will have the attempts, but you will have a different drop down that will say drop voicemail, and it will say attempt 1, attempt 2, attempt 3, attempt 4, and every time that you click on this button, it will send the next voicemail because they will be probably a little bit different. So you will send number 1, and then this drop down of the attempts will go to attempt 2, and then you send again. It will send attempt 2, and now it will pull it to attempt number 3. So you do have a way to do it. It's again from one of those creative options in Zoho, but there is a way to do it. Yeah.
I think that eventually some of my phone calls I'm gonna ship them out to a third party or maybe an assistant. And so I think that I don't want it to be able to mass update. I think if I want an assistant to do it, then make
One by one.
make it one-to-one, and that way I can specifically have when I go to miss 2. Let's say I want to wait a day. Let's say that I would go from 1 to 2, and I want to just put it back that same day by the afternoon or something like that. And be able to create. I can do that one at a time. The only thing I'm giving up is being able to mass update from that one screen, right? I just got to go into each individual record every single time and do some sort of action on it to make it go forward.
There is a try to arrange your leads to two different groups. Group number one will be people that you actually talk to, real people. And those people, for sure, you do them one by one, 100%. The group of people that you never talk to, maybe people that dropped you, a comment on social, maybe people from your that send you some emails with questions, whatever, people that are not really warm leads, those will be probably in the mess update section. So you can differentiate your leads to two different groups. And then maybe, the rules will change based on the type of the lead.
Yeah, I have something similar to that, and I've got to think through it today with Eric. But it's basically, if somebody contacts me like with a web form or something like that, and it's legit, then I'm going to call them back like 5 times, and it's twice a day, once a day, something like that. But the ones that I'm really getting onto is people that I want, like real estate agents. I'm a loan officer, so I want real estate agents to be my partner, and so I'm not going to just flick them off. I mean, they're still going to work in my town after I call them and they say yes or they say no or whatever. So they're going to make it.
Right.
They may not make it to contact. They may not make it to partner, but I want to keep them in the database. So if they ever come back or I see them on a contract, I want them in the system and all their crap in there immediately, if that makes sense. So what I just
absolutely. So that's more a one-on-one relationship, not clicking on multiple. Just click on one each time. Yeah. Takes more time, but it's achieving the goals that you set.
Well, if I have a lead that's a referral, I want to do it like that. If I have something like you said, just a comment, then I've got like a 60-day. I'm going to send them a voicemail, then I'm going to send them a text. I'm not going to waste my time on it. If they want to put effort into it, I just got a way to reel them back in to nurture them. So
absolutely.
I agree with you. So the question is then, do I handle that like a lead type as opposed to a lead status? And that way I can have one blueprint that does this and one blueprint that does that, or how should I handle that?
So there is already a field that Zoho created. I think it's no, they didn't create it. I have in my real system, I have lead temperature, and it's a cold, warm, and hot. And I'm usually personally dealing with the ones that they're hot, that they know what they want and they want to proceed. The other team members will deal with the cold and warm. People that have some kind of an idea of what they want, they're not sure. So you can have the same thing. So let's say the athletes, you are going to deal with them, and the cold and warm, your assistant. Because the chances of success with the cold and warm is not so high anyway.
So should I do like an approval process then?
No, just
let's
say that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say that you're loading leads to your system. Whenever the lead comes, let's say from the website, you can set the lead temperature to warm. Someone that knows what you're doing and he has questions. So it's not great, it's not cold, it's okay. People from social, all of them will be cold because the conversion from social is almost nothing, very low. People that coming from mailing list, those will be warm because they already got your content and has some kind of a question. Usually it's a good one. Referrals, this is athletes. Those are the best leads because they already got warmed by your friend, and that's very, very good. So those will be athletes. So every time that you register a lead to the system, the temperature will be one of the fields that you need to update. Is that making sense?
Yeah, well, I think I have a different field that I can run that through, because I'm doing like first touch, first contact, how they initiated a phone, how they initiated a phone call with me, and I think I can handle that and convert that when it becomes a lead. I think I can make that a 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of idea, and that way it can rank them on that same follow-up list. I can do ones first, 2 second, however. So I think I got it.
Look, the execution, it doesn't really matter. You can do it. There are lots of roads that leading to the goal. As long as you know what you're trying to do, you can achieve it with any kind of field or way. It's just the difficult part is, what do I want to do? That's the difficult part.
Well, I should be so lucky that I have so many leads that I can't get to them. That's not
good.
necessarily my problem, but I think that at some point you can automate too much, and maybe I'm thinking too much down the line, because I'm going to want to evaluate everybody at one time. And so if they just sit there in the follow-up thing and I say, this guy's a 2, this guy's a 3, that might make it easier long-term for me to be able to do that type of work. Does that sound like a better idea than trying to automate that? You know what I mean? Where I see them and then I got to place them.
Just start with something. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
A decision, it's more important than no decision, even if it's a bad decision. Just go with something, start to check how it works, and then you can refine your way.
Yeah, I prefer to over-engineer things, to overthink it, and
no need
delay how I use it, if that's all right.
No need. Just take action. You have, let's say, 10,000 leads. Run with 100 of them. See how it goes. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's horrible. And, you just find your way as you go.
Sounds great, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Steve is asking, I believe, regarding the blueprint. And on my channel, you will see multiple videos of how to create a blueprint. And also on my Zoho CRM course, I also have a specific, I think, 3 lessons on how to create them. And for the ones that don't know what is a blueprint, you must learn it. You cannot run a department, a business process without those buttons. Because if you don't have a way to set your business process and force the employees to go through them, you don't have a business. It's a Mickey Mouse. Okay, so I hope, Steve, that I answered the question here. And yeah, you need to do it. It's great. It will change your business completely. Okay, so another question is, what or how can you connect with people that are in your database but you did not connect with them for a long time? It all depends who they are and if they had any kind of interaction with you before. So there is no one rule. If I will take it to a totally different side, and it's a video that I created a few days ago, but I can repeat the information here. There is a way that people connect with people. Leave 1 second CRM or online or any of that. It's meaningless. There is a way that people connect. If you're thinking about it, let's take it to really cold the interactions, and those will be your social interactions. Let's say that you're after some kind of a person or a group of people, CEOs or presidents of companies or director of IT, director of sales, whatever, a group of people. You're spending months to connect with them, and eventually they added you to their network. And that might be because you liked their post, you commented on their post, you made something that will bring you into their network. Once you have the connection, 99.9% of the people will send an offer. So once they got the channel to this person, they immediately send an offer. And the result is that they're being banned. And their excuse, because I work with people all the time, and their excuse is that he banned me or removed me from his network because probably it's not a good fit. So it's good that he did it from the beginning. Now that's stupid, because this is not how it's working. You cannot go to a bar, see a nice lady and say, do you want to get married? It just doesn't work like that. People don't behave like that. If you're meeting someone for a business meeting, you're not sitting $20 per hour, I can give you 20 developers, we do web design. It doesn't work like that. People don't behave this way. So the way that, for the emails and also for social, the ways to attract the person slowly. First of all, for example, I'm not doing social, so I'm not really a good candidate for social, but I can tell you the way that I work with clients of mine. So first of all, let's say that if I'm targeting a specific CEO of a company, I will first try to like his post. I will show him support. And because people are based on ego, that usually works. And after, let's say, a few weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's a long period of time that I'm liking his posts, then I will ask him to be part of his LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever. And the chances that he will say yes are almost 100%. It's always the case. They already warmed up, because even the big CEOs, they are looking who is liking their videos and who's not. So they know. So this is part number one. Once you're in the network, you wait a week or two, you continue to like the post, and then you start to comment on some posts. You start to get more personal. Once that's happening and it's going on for a few more weeks, now you have some kind of a trust with this person, because you did not ask him for anything. You just gave him your support, your time, likes, comments. All that is being considered as a thumbs up, something very good for this CEO. When time goes, let's say 3 months after the beginning of the relationship, then you ask him questions about his business. And it doesn't need to be a huge questionnaire, but questions that he will feel good when you're asking them. For example, if you know that this company just reached a new milestone, ask about it. How did you do it? So ask good questions that you would like to brag. So that's the next step that you can connect. And once you establish the trust and the ego and all the basic human needs are being fulfilled because the smart things that you're doing, only then you're going for, you know what, I do have 20 developers that might help you with project ABC, because you already know his problem, because he talked to you about it. And those people can help you with the projects that you're working on. And, it's something to consider. In that case, instead of being banned from the network, even if he says no, you're still in a position that you still have trust, you have relationship with another person. It's all real. It's not Mickey Mouse. So as for the original question regarding the emails with people that you did not talk to for a long time, it's always good to create some value, to create trust. Take it slowly and never go with deals. Never, ever, ever offer anything. Build trust. Give them some value. It's not about, some people tell me, okay, I don't want to give discounts. Value and money, it's not the same. Some people buy bags for $5,000 when you can buy it for $20. So money is not really the problem. The thing is, you need to give value. And every email that you're sending to your audience need to provide massive amount of value And that's the only way that you can convert them from cold or transparent lead to a warm or hot or maybe a deal. Okay, so just about giving value and value and value. Okay, let's see. And by the way, I see all of you are writing in the chat. So if you like to talk, just I think you can raise a hand or something like that, and I will give you permission to talk. I think it will be much nicer to talk than just to read the chats. So Ricky is asking a good question regarding WhatsApp. There are certain places in the world that they're sending WhatsApp as the main communication. I think in the States and Canada, I don't think it's really happening, but in lots of countries, WhatsApp is the controlling communication tool. And he's asking if there is a way to connect WhatsApp to the CRM. So yes, of course, there are in the store, there are multiple application that supports it. So if you go to the marketplace, click on all, go to WhatsApp. Is that how you're writing WhatsApp? What's up? Okay. So you can see that you have here few options for WhatsApp. I personally use this guy. This is Jeremy. He's a nice guy. So I'm using his. I will lie if I will say that I ever saw WhatsApp working. So not because of him, because I just, in North America, we don't use WhatsApp. So I don't know, but the way that you should check it out, every plugin that you will click on, you will see the reviews. So probably you want to check all those plugins that offer WhatsApp and then check the reviews and then check the trial version. I do know that all those plugins will cost monthly fees, each one of them. And except that, you will need to have a WhatsApp for Business. It's also a requirement. So you just need to make sure that the money that you're saving on the free messages will not cost you hundreds of dollars. So, this is why I'm not using WhatsApp. So, because I think it's $99 a month for the WhatsApp version, if I'm not mistaken, and another like $15 for just subscription for this plugin that's doing the magic. And some companies also have a kickback per message. So it's starting to be a bit expensive for me. And we don't use WhatsApp so much in North America anyway, so I don't use it. I hope I was able to answer your question, Ricky. Let's see, can Zomail create few mail accounts as such? Arrow goes to the same account. Yes. So Ricky is asking if there is a way to create alias accounts in Zomail. I don't think that I have Zomail here. Let's see, because we need to configure the DNS, and for sure it's not configured. Let's see, application. Nah, it will not fly. No. So if you go to your Zomail, you click on the right top, you will see your picture. And then on the bottom, you have control panel link. You click on that, and that will take you to the control panel. On the left side, you will have a link of mail accounts or user accounts, if I'm not mistaken. You click there, and then you will see all the users in your, all the users that have emails. You click on the ones that you do want to add an alias for. And if it's the new design, because Zoho now replacing the design, if it's the new design, on the top, you will see mail alias. And if it's the old design, you scroll down and you see mail alias. And you can click and you can add the, let's say, sales at Amazing Business Results, info at Amazing Business Results. You can have multiple aliases to a single email. So that's doable, Ricky, no problem. I'm sorry I had to work from my memory and not from the screen because I do not have Zomail activated on my development server. Okay, guys, so you're releasing me 6 minutes before time. Thank you very much. I hope that I was able to give you some value today. Have a beautiful and safe week, and the medications are on the way, so don't worry. We will get some vaccination and go back to the old world craziness. Okay, bye guys.